Hey everyone, welcome back to the Mic'd Up Podcast. I'm your host for today, Elton. And today I actually have Tasha Mae on our podcast. She's an old friend of mine back from our high school days. She's a great athlete and she also represents Malaysia in beach volleyball. And now she's actually venturing into content creation ever since MCO put a stop to everything. She has her own podcast also. That's why she's on. Today we're going to talk about podcasting. She has her own podcast called volleytalk. And yeah, welcome to the show, Tasha.
Yeah, hi Elton. Thank you so much for having me here today.
Yeah, sure. With the MCO, everyone is stuck at home. How are you feeling?
To be honest, not very good. I mean, I miss volleyball, I miss my training, I miss competitions, but
yeah,
it's just how it is now. Everyone is going through the same thing, so can't complain much.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't mind, share a bit about your background before we get into the whole podcast part.
Sure. So, I've started playing volleyball since a very young age, actually 9+. So I played indoor volleyball until I was about 18. And then that's when I actually didn't intend to continue volleyball. And then during when it was 2019, my coach called me. He himself was a beach volleyball player. So he called me and said that Malaysia was sending a beach volleyball team for the 2019 SEA Games. And he asked me if I wanted to be a part of it. So initially, because I didn't intend to continue volleyball, I was like, nah, I don't want. But then he was like, just try. Beach volleyball is very fun. It's very different from indoor volleyball. So then I tried and then I fell in love with it. So yeah. So now I play beach volleyball. Yep.
Right, just some technical difficulties at the start. But yeah. Okay, both of us actually, I saw on your Instagram bio, we share this same philosophy of 1% a day, which for me means just micro improvement every day to make a difference over time. So personally for me, it was making videos. But what about for you? What was the thing that influenced you to that having that 1% everyday kind of thinking?
Yeah, so actually that thinking was inspired after I read the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. So in that book, he talked about how people, they always set a very huge goal and then they fail to achieve it because they want to, achieve it, like they want to make a big change in a short time, and that's always
just want to have it just like that.
Yeah, they want to have it just like that. But what he says is that actually it's true, micro developments every single day, changing your habits by 1% every single day, and then by the end of the year you will have improved a lot, and it's sustainable also. So I realized that because I'm a very, very impatient person. I always want things just like that, So that's why I think that philosophy is very important for me. I mean, it's easy to just talk about it, but to actually apply it is a totally different story, right?
Yeah.
So I'm still learning how to, try to scale things down and just look at, the small wins every day.
Because actually there's this, have you heard about this, the rule of 100?
No, what's that?
Basically you do 100, let's say you want to be good at video, create content. So you make 100 videos, you make 100. Yeah. And then you just put it out. So instead of putting 100 hours into one video to make it perfect, you make 100 videos and you improve a little bit as you go. So okay. Yeah, I mean, I seen from my experience making videos from back, I think 2-3 years back, those videos were pretty bad, and now I'm making pretty decent videos. Not really good yet, but it takes a lot of time to go from there to experience and trial and error the whole thing. And yeah, actually I think it also links to how both of us are from a sports background.
Yeah, so true.
Yeah, and like last time our coach would tell us when we train, why we're training the same thing over and over, the basics over and over. It's all about that 1%.
Yeah.
Right? We're every day training the same thing.
Yeah.
Literally. You're spiking the ball and shooting from the same spot every day. But that 1% increase, did that really come to mind recently only, or
no? Was it when did I read the book? I think I read the book last year or last 2 years ago, and then I was like, whoa, this is cool. This is something that I have to try and apply in my life. Because like what you said, especially for sports, I think it stems from the sports, like you say, we're doing the same things over and over again. But it's just so that, like you said, we can improve 1% so that next time we're on court, that movement becomes more automatic. and we decrease the margin for error.
Yeah.
Not to say that we don't make
You won't make
mistakes.
mistakes.
Yeah, but it's just making the movement more automatic as
Right.
the days go by.
And I think also especially in sports, because we understand how close sometimes things are.
Yes.
Like you lose by that 1 point, you lose by that few milliseconds if you're running,
Yeah.
and your 1% does contribute to
Yep.
the difference between winning and losing. So I think that is why, personally, I think athletes will actually appreciate this 1% even more.
Yeah.
And yeah. So I mean, speaking about change, having 1% improvement every day, you actually mentioned that you were a volleyball player at first. I mean, sports speaking,
Yeah.
you're a volleyball player, you weren't a beach volleyball
Yeah.
player. So what made you switch over to beach volleyball? Was it the Malaysian sun and sand, whether you wanted to just move to the north?
No, I mean, like I mentioned earlier, right? My coach, he was the one who actually, convinced me to try out beach volleyball. And yeah, I tried it, and it's really, really very different from indoor. It might look like the same thing, the same ball and all. I mean, the same type of sport, the same skills and all, but it's actually technically very, very different. So you have a lot more freedom in beach volleyball, and then you get to hit a lot more balls because it's just you and your partner, right? Like after you, it's you again. So you will improve very fast because you are forced to be go and hit the ball. And then what else? Oh, it's mentally so much more challenging because it's just you and your partner. And in beach volleyball, there is actually no side coaching. So during the game, you and your partner have to figure stuff out. Right. And if the opponent is attacking you, then you have to, dig yourself out of that hole. And yeah, it's just such a, deep learning curve. And
You're your own coach kind of thing.
Yeah, being your own coach. And the thing is that you really need a lot of competition and game-like situations to really be, there and keep improving, because there's so many things to consider. So the past year hasn't exactly been helping.
Right. I mean, speaking of this, do you do visualizations before games? I just thought about it.
Visualizations, yeah. I mean, I don't really have a specific routine, but yeah, I do
Different
like to
scenarios,
visualize. Yeah.
Okay. Since we're talking about that visualization, do you actually? For me, last time I used to visualize how I approach certain aspects of the scenarios in the game, and it moves to now when I'm doing my work, I tend to visualize how I want my day to go, how I want certain things to go. Do you do that too?
Sometimes I'm not consistent with it.
Yeah. It's cool. But yeah, I mean, now the lockdown has put down like everyone's plans is really mentally draining for everyone. But you actually made the most out of it. You actually started a podcast, volleytalk.
Yeah.
Just tell us a bit more about how did that come along.
Yeah, so volleytalk podcast was a podcast that I started a few months back, and as the name suggests, it's about volleyball. So basically, it's I will invite players from all around the world, and then I have a chat with them, like interview them, like about how they got into volleyball, how is their training routine, how do they think and all, because I myself I have always been very interested in how people think, and I like to talk to people and all. And in my mind, I always had this imagination that one day I'll have my own talk show or something like that.
Same, actually.
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So maybe because you watch too much talk shows, right? So I mean, like, I always thought of it as something as the future. Like after I finish school, then it's something I will try. And then just one day, it hit me that I can actually just start now. There's the internet and everything. So, and then also I actually remembered about you. You told me before that you have a podcast, and then you were making videos and all. And then I was like, yeah, I think I could do something like that also. So yeah, that's how it started.
Right, because personally for me, I think for you also was we like to speak to people, we like to network with people.
Yeah.
And for you, you're actually interviewing very big names in like volleyball. So I'm really impressed. How do you actually get them to come onto your podcast?
I literally just shoot them a DM. Like they are actually volleyball players. How to say? It's still a very close close community, because volleyball, I guess, is still, beach volleyball especially, is still not so big. Volleyball is getting very big. Beach volleyball is still a very small community. So it's still easy to reach out to most of the players, and they are very, very friendly because, like I said, beach volleyball is a very small community and we are still growing. So they will want to do as much as possible to help the community to grow. So
Right.
yeah, so they're very friendly and all also.
So actually, what's your process like? From how do you run a podcast from the start after you invite your guests? Is there a set thing that I'm gonna interview a certain way, I'm gonna put out certain things, or is it just as do you mind just run it?
I prepare a list of questions and then I will usually send it to my guests so that they can take a look and at least they are prepared. So then we just set the time. The thing about this is that there's different time zones, because I'm interviewing people from all across the globe. So yeah, I will just send them our time zone, Malaysia and let's say Norway time difference. And then I'll ask them, okay, you just go ahead and pick a time that suits you. I will adjust my schedule. And then they'll pick the time and then we will set the time and then I'll send them the questions and then I'll prepare a poster and all that stuff so that I can
really like your how you design your whole podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's really, really nice. I actually want to pick your mind on how do you do that, if you don't mind.
So I think what makes my design special is because I always include their identity inside the post. Like say for example, where are they from? So I will put their flag behind that as the background image. So it truly represents them. So that will be like my introduction post, and then the second post will be for one of the questions that I asked at the end, which is if you could put a message on the moon for the whole world to see, what would it be? So that will be my second post after the podcast. And then the third one is like an extract of the podcast so that, people will be like, oh, okay, what is this about? I want to listen more to it. Then they'll go and click and listen to the full podcast.
Right. That's just really interesting. I think I should learn something from you. I'm really impressed by how you put the stuff. It's really eye-pleasing. Like for me, I'm not a graphics person. So I just want to talk this kind of thing. So then the back end stuff, I'm like, okay.
Oh, thank you so much. I mean, I don't know how is it like to other people also, but you're saying it's nice, so I'm glad to hear that.
Right. One more thing, the people that you talk to, do you already sort of know them or they are completely strangers to you?
So in the beginning, of course, when I first started, I was still scared. And also I just approached the players whom I met before on World Tour, like some of them. So yeah, those in the beginning were the players that I knew. And then slowly, as I started to be more comfortable and gain more courage, then I approached people that I didn't even know. They don't even know who I am. So
hello.
But I just shoot them a message on Instagram and see if they reply. So there are actually a lot of people who also never reply me. They've seen the message. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess you experienced that also, right?
Yeah, we just roll with the punches.
Yeah, just roll with it. I see who wants, then we just do lah. Yeah. No, I mean no loss also. What you ask, then you get lah. You don't ask, then you never get, right?
Yeah. Regarding to, let's say, because you're in a niche topic like volleyball, what do you actually talk about? Like how do you come up with topics regarding to what you talk about?
Yeah, so I have a very specific set of questions. Like I said, it's about the player. I want to know who are they, where do they come from, how did they start beach volleyball? Because like you said, beach volleyball is not it's a very niche sport. So like how do you start, and then what are your greatest achievements? How do you, when you're in a tough situation in game, how do you think, what goes through your mind, what have been some of your toughest challenges, and what has it taught you? And
kind of like a story time thing from them.
It's basically about them, like their story. Because volleyball is one of the most popular sports in the world, but the players are not really well known. Unlike if you go and search basketball and football players, there'll be like tons of Michael Jordan interviews, Kobe Bryant, or Cristiano Ronaldo. But volleyball players, like, you don't really hear about them. So like me as a volleyball player, I want to know how a volleyball player thinks, right? I mean, of course, I would listen to other sports also, but for more specifically, I would want to listen to volleyball. Right. So yeah, that's
because there's a big community of volleyball players, but not much attention is on the sport itself.
That's right. Yeah.
I think like the most people here, I'm not sure about this. The only time I hear about volleyball on a more consistent basis is when people talk about haiku.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I
that's
don't watch Haikyuu also, but like there's a huge fan base there, and
right.
a lot of people have started volleyball because of Haikyuu, and I think that's really cool.
I mean, would you have, like, say, do you meet volleyball players that just started, you played volleyball just because of certain anime or certain,
You mean
like,
me?
professionally,
Or
you
professional?
professionally?
No, I mean I have met like people on Instagram, but not in real life yet.
All right. Okay, yeah. I mean, that's, yeah, that's pretty much. So in regards to content creation, I mean, you're in the podcast. How do you see it as a whole? Like, why do you create content?
Ooh.
This is a bit sudden change, but
Yeah.
yeah. Why do you create
Why
content?
do I create content? So that's actually a very good question, because the past few days, I don't know whether it's because of the lockdown or what, I've also been like a bit down and like not really creating content because I didn't really know like what content to create, just not in the right state of mind.
Yeah.
But I think ultimately why I create content is to share my life as a maybe a student athlete or a beach volleyball player, to get to more people to know about volleyball, beach volleyball. And yeah, I mean, what I really want is to hopefully inspire people to be, a better version of themselves and to add value to people. Yeah, I don't want to simply make posts just for the sake of making, like those silly TikTok challenges or whatever. Like, I want my posts to actually have value for people. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's why these few days also I've been just like a bit stuck and all, because yeah, I don't know, just not in the right frame of
But
mind.
how have you been feeling after, like, how long have you been putting out content? Around, let's say, around 6 months or so? All right.
Yeah, I
Or,
think over the past few, I think 3 to 4 months, I've been more consistent with this. Yeah.
I mean, how have you, what have you felt from it, Leonie? Because you mentioned you're about the impact. Has
Yeah.
anything stood out for you ever since you started?
Yeah, I mean, when people say that they are inspired by my content or that they learn something new, that makes me very happy and it motivates me to create more.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, curious. Who's your favorite content creator? Then I get a gist of how you're approaching your content creation. You're kind of
Favorite?
influenced always by someone in a way, right?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, one of them is NAS Daily because I got the NAS Academy scholarship, right?
Right, right.
to learn how to create content. So, I mean, yeah, his videos are they tell stories, and I think that's really cool because people's stories are the best kind of stories to tell. And then actually recently, because my new semester, it's I took introduction to American government.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so I've been watching a lot of the Daily
That's
Show with
really
Trevor
interesting,
Noah.
right?
Yeah, you
I
know
mean,
that Trevor Noah.
yeah, yeah.
So I've been watching a lot of his content. He's so funny. His accent, imitation,
He makes
everything.
everything so chill and relatable.
Yeah,
I think,
exactly.
yeah.
So he has actually helped in my studies a lot and
Educational.
educational and entertaining. And also Hassan Minhaj,
Oh, yeah,
another
yeah, that
one.
guy is another one.
Yeah, so recently I've been watching a lot of their content.
What's his Hassan Minhaj's show again? His
Patriot Act. But I think
yes, Patriot Act.
it's been cancelled or
Yeah, it's
something.
been
I'm not
cancelled for some reason, but
so sad.
his whole episodes are so informative and really,
Yeah, you
it's
learn a
really, really
lot.
good.
And it's funny. That's
Yeah,
the thing.
he's a comedian. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, you spoke about the NAS Academy.
Mhm.
What's that about?
Okay, so actually last year, so NAS Academy, they gave out 100 scholarships to create content creators all across Malaysia, Singapore, and the Philippines. It's actually a partnership with Grab, so they sponsor people. And yeah, last December they actually made the announcement on Facebook, and I don't use Facebook much, so I don't scroll through Facebook. So my mom actually saw that, and then she told me because I had just bought a vlogging camera like 2 days ago before that because I wanted to start the content creation journey. So she was like, hey, look at this. Why don't you try and apply and see whether you get or not? So I just applied, and then they had this like interviews and all. So then I got shortlisted and I actually got selected as one of the 100 content creators. So we had this course for about 2 months where you learn how to script, all from scripting, shooting, editing, everything. And then they basically train you to become a content creator.
So how do you think that course? How impactful was that course? Can I just say that?
It was so good, man. I got to meet so many amazing people who are so passionate, and I got to learn so many things. Like, they basically shortened my content creation learning process. I mean, you started it, right? I'm sure you know that. I'm sure it was
it
not
took me
easy.
2 years or so.
Right.
A lot of mistakes, a lot of to come.
Yeah, and they have all these trainers and all who are so fun, and they teach you everything. So yeah, I'm really very grateful for that opportunity. I think it's because of that. That's why I really started my content creation journey, or else I'll just be like, what am I doing?
I mean, how has it, does content creation or the podcasting, has it benefited you in your studies or in your outside kind of adulting kind of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I was just thinking about it. I think that all this content creation has really helped me to step outside of my comfort zone, because to be honest, before this I wasn't really a video type of person. I was more of a, like, I like to write. I like to write so that you don't have to be in front of camera and present yourself, because I don't really like to show show another side of myself, right? So yeah, this whole process has really helped me to step out of my comfort zone, and also for the podcast, has taught me how to talk to people, talk to really good players. And I think that's something that I'm quite proud of, because I'm usually quite, I mean, like, it's just something to a challenge to get over.
I mean, eventually you learn about, because you're running it on your own, so you're doing from start to end, the whole production process of it.
So I really learn a lot, and also how to not take rejection personally.
Nothing personal, just
nothing personal. It's just, man.
right. Because for me, especially after I'm doing all this podcasts and videos, definitely help, because when you're speaking to people, you're not so, like you say, it's easier to speak to people.
Yeah.
Especially when you go to get jobs or network in the future, you definitely be more comfortable.
Yeah.
So that has, for me, personally, that's what I've learned.
Yeah, for sure.
Last question regarding content creation. Where do you see yourself in like 5 years or so?
Oh, you just threw me under the bus. So
I mean, I can go after this, but
no, just kidding. So I mean, like, content creation, all this stuff is so unpredictable, right? But the most important thing that I learned from everyone, all of my trainers are saying, all of my friends are saying, is consistency.
Right.
So many of the times we want that content to be perfect, then only we want to put it out. But the truth is, it's like what you said earlier, the rule of 100. You just have to keep doing and learn along the way. So I think in the next 5 years, I don't know, I hope I want to grow my Instagram page. Now with the reels, it's quite, it can grow quite fast. There's the good and bad to it also, but of course the good is more. And then probably maybe my YouTube and Facebook page, because I'll be going to overseas to study soon. So I want to, document my life as a student athlete.
Cool.
So I think that I can offer a very unique perspective. So that, and it's also sort of like my diary, like that.
You can. It's nice to go back and look at the videos, see what you have done, those kind of thing, memories. And sometimes you go back and see, I'm like, oh, this was how I shot the video last time. Oh no. But I mean, just like you mentioned, Instagram Reels. How has it been doing? Which is your favorite platform in terms of social media?
Actually, Instagram, but recently, like I said, I don't know if it's the lockdown or what, it's been making me a bit like down. So like I haven't really been on Instagram, but usually Instagram is my favorite platform, because it's fun, it's engaging, and you can go, your content can reach a lot of people from a lot of different countries. So and with the new Reels feature, it's even faster actually.
Okay, I should try.
Yeah, you should. Really,
I've been making a few, but I didn't really know how to. Okay, I should figure that out.
Go explore more Reels. It's really good.
Before we end, there's actually a few things. One thing from my side is, I gotta ask you, how do you keep yourself fit during this lockdown? You are a monster, you know. I see you on your social media, and then I'm like, oh well.
See, the thing is that you see me on social media and you're like, oh wow, and then I see other people on social media and I'm like, oh wow, right? So
Right.
it's like you see me and then I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm not so fit already anymore because I've not been playing and all. So I just do my best to maintain like my fitness. I mean, the best that I can with like conditioning and, upper body strength, core workout and legs. But it's really nothing compared to actual playing,
Right, that's right. Because for me, I like playing and I don't really like to do workouts.
Yeah.
My exercise comes all from playing, and now with lockdown, I'm just like, hey, I'm just gonna sit here. That kind of thing.
Yeah, it's so boring, like
Yeah.
honestly.
Do you have like a routine that you go to?
Yeah, so actually I have this training program that I have with this bulletproof performance training. They're actually like volleyball specific training created by volleyball players.
To
So yeah,
condition for
any volleyball players, you should go and check them out.
yes, all
So
linked in the
they
description.
yeah. So yeah, they actually very I sort of like won this program also.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, so I've been following their program for the whole lockdown actually, like the past few months. And yeah, it's really crazy because when there was no lockdown and I could actually train in the court,
Mhm.
I could see like rapid improvement. And it just blew my mind, like, wow, just the right type of training, work smart, not work
Smart,
hard.
not hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could just really change my game. So yeah, that's why I'm so frustrated now because I want to see how I can play in court.
How much performance
how
increase,
much
right?
I've improved or what I need to work on, but I can't do that now. So it's just a bit
Yeah.
like, you just keep training without an end goal. So yeah.
Actually, I want to. You always ask them. Just now you say you always ask them a question.
Mhm.
What is the question? I'm gonna ask this question back to you.
Ah!
You get a chance to answer your question on my podcast.
Oh my god. Yeah.
What's
Okay,
the question?
the question is, if you could put a message on the moon for 7.2 billion people in the world to see, what would it be and why?
Okay, I'll ask this question. So, Tasha, if you could put a message on the moon for 7 billion people to see, what would the message be and why?
I just dug my own trap, man, because I've been thinking about this question also, like for myself. So, and let me just think for a while because that day I had an answer and I can't think of it now.
Right. It's cool. Okay, I shall go first then.
Okay,
So,
all right, go first. Yep.
My message would be, why not?
Why not? Simple, but well, what's the meaning behind it?
Okay, because mainly when I do stuff, then sometimes my girlfriend will ask me, why are you doing it? So I'm not a person who really thinks through stuff. So that's kind of like my weakness. So she asked me, why are you doing it? Then I'll be like, why not? So that somehow became my my like driving force. And I have a lot of opportunities and done a lot of things because just like, why not? Just do it. There's no harm. If you succeed, you succeed. You don't succeed, when you move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
So yes, on the moon, why not?
Why not? Okay, that's like your slogan, right? For your company.
I should rename this Why Not Podcast.
Oh, the Why Not Podcast. Yeah, that sounds cool.
Your turn.
My turn. I still haven't really thought about it yet because there's like so many things, that I like to
simplify this. What's the first thing that comes to mind? When people ask you for advice?
I guess it's the 1% better theory. Right. Just keep working on it every single day. Yeah, even if it's just a little bit. But if you keep doing it, then you'll get to where you want to be.
So your word on the moon will be 1%.
But that's a bit long now, right?
No, it will just be the 1% there.
1%. But then you see, that's because it's not really authentic, it's not really my words. So yeah, I'm still in.
It's okay. I'll wait on that.
Okay.
And then I'll make a post specially for this,
Yes, you should.
For your episode itself, I'll make that question.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what people say also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So remember, send me, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So I think that's pretty much all we're gonna talk about for the podcasting part. Is there anything you wanna tell my audience, or just let them know, promote your socials, your YouTube? Now is the time. You have 1 minute.
Okay. So yeah, first of all, I want to thank Elton for inviting me. This is actually the second time that we're recording this, FYI.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of our very good Malaysia internet connection.
Right. So actually, a bit of context. Our first podcast recording, half of the recording was just me saying, "Huh? Can you say that again?" Then I'll be saying something. She go, "Your camera's disconnected, yeah." Yeah. So we had to shoot it again. But yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, this is fun. It's fun to see just within like 1 month, I think, or a few weeks, how some of my answers have changed. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it really shows how the 1% works. Yeah. So yeah, I know that this lockdown is still here. It's not gonna go away anytime soon. The PM just announced that it's still extending.
Right.
But yeah, I hope that everyone listening to this can, try to find something that drives you in the morning still to wake up and keep improving and work on what you love. Yep.
Right. Cool. Thank you so much for coming to our podcast. Links on description down below. Her Instagram is @TashaMae.
Underscore. There's no A.
Oh, there's @TashMae_.
Yeah.
Right.
Underscore.
Then mine is @EltonLim_. Follow us. Follow Mic'd Up Podcast.
I have an underscore. Nice.
Yeah. And we'll see you guys in the next podcast.
Yeah.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
See y'all.
All right.
Nice. Oh my god, you really stunted me with that question where I couldn't think. Like, my mind was blank.
It's okay. That one was a really impromptu thing, because when you mentioned that kind of struck my mind that since you've been asking other people, I wanted to hear what your answer was to the question.
And my answer was so disappointing because
it's okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, haven't really been in the right
space of mind.
Yeah. Have you experienced that?
Yes, 2 weeks back, actually, I quit my job.
Oh, the hair job?
Yes.
Why?
So see how much things have changed in that 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I quit my hair salon job, because hair distribution job, because it wasn't I wasn't working, 1%. You gotta work 1% in the right direction.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So I was working 1% probably not in the direction I wanted. So hence I don't want to, let's say, disappoint my employer, because it's a management training program. I don't want him to invest so much in me just for me to say after 1 year, like, oh, I guess I'm gonna not do it anymore. Bye.
So you decided to put that earlier lah.
Yeah, I didn't want to waste each of our time lah.
Oh.
So there's that also. So I quit, and then I'm now working on my development projects, youth development, financials. And I actually, this morning we had an icebreaker for an event. And one of the thing was write the 140 words like description of you, like a tweet about you.
And that's the first question I asked my guests.
Right. Okay, I should do that too. You see, I'm learning so much from you. 1%. Yeah, how do you describe yourself with a tweet?
Yeah.
Then I was like, hi, I'm Elton. I'm a business psych graduate. Yeah, I just quit my 9-to-5 job to work 24/7 with coffee. Cry.
Cry.
So yeah, that was my answer. And that was when it hit me that I really did quit my 9-to-5 job just to work the whole day. But I like what I'm working on, so it's not that mentally draining. Because previously, although I was working 9-to-5, I was not in the right space of mind.
Yeah. And you also don't strike me as a 9-to-5 person.
True. That's what a lot of my friends say lah. They were surprised. First, they were surprised I took the job, and most of them were not surprised that I quit the job. It was like, we felt it was an odd fit, and we were like kind of in the wrong industry. I was like, okay.
You took it just for the experience, is it?
I took it because mainly marketing. I could do marketing, and experience, yes, definitely. But if it's in the wrong field with the interest not being there, it's a bit hard lah.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially I'll be building so much in one direction to just branch off in another direction. That kind of thing.
So sorry, so what exactly are you doing now? Is it the project, is it your own project or is it with?
So I have my own project which I'm building. Is not launched yet, but it's something regarding to bridging the gap between students and the working world.
Oh.
And I have another group that's working on, which I'm part of it. I'm not leading it. It's we're working on how to facilitate workshops and all those, and give workshop presentations better, personal development kind of stuff for high school and up to university.
Oh, okay. So sorry, just explain a bit to me about the first project. So basically, are you working with a team or how does it?
I'm founding a platform like the Break the Box thing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that is a platform which I'm actually revamping to have things which help transition from where we are now to find our direction, especially now when we come out of university. We don't know what to do. We got our degrees, we got our knowledge. Like for me, if I actually did reflect and did think about it, I probably wouldn't take a job. Kind of thing. So that's where I'm trying to revamp the whole module, have stuff. One of the things is actually kind of like a bi-weekly reflection session to reflect on, because usually we just go through the motions, we don't really.
Yep.
So that's one of the few things that I'm coming up. See how to link the things. So it's still a work in progress. Kind of thing, yeah.
So that means it's like an online platform where students who are unsure of what they want to do, they can go and check it out, and then you will.
Yeah, so we have
them?
information, we have talks, we have kind of the reflection weekly is for you yourself, so that you can find it. Because I'll be doing reflections anyway. So why not? Let's do it together, kind of thing.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? Back to why not? Yeah, and then after that, we're gonna. The idea is to have workshops that help you get a job. How do you do your resume? How do you present yourself?
Yeah, that's really helpful. People. I think especially now, people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good, Elton. I'm happy for you. Should I be happy that you quit your job?
I mean, I'm happy for myself.
That's all that matters,
yeah.
man.
You still have like 3 years on your. You still have 3 years on your degree, right? Too.
Oh, I think so. I don't know because like I'm going to the States soon, right?
Right.
In August, so I'll be there for at least 4 years.
Oh, you're going to the States this August, right?
Yeah.
I'm actually applying for work and travel to the States.
Oh, when?
I think I'll be there in end November through March, April.
Nice.
Where are you going?
California.
Right. I might stop there. I have relatives there.
Oh, who knows? We might actually we won't bump into each other here, but we'll bump into each other there.
Yeah, be more likely over there, you know.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
So it's like a work and travel.
Work and travel, because winter they certain industries require more manpower. So work then travel.
That's nice. Yeah, actually my visa appointment is tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't like registered yet. I fill in all the forms.
You should because like I don't know, mine I registered about 3 months ago. Then only I got the appointment, you know.
Right, because mine is with an organization kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Like, you know, the work and travel they organize this kind of thing. So their registration, I think they're closing it on Monday. So I'm trying this, not closing on Monday. They are opening the jobs availability on Monday. So I'm just gonna give my registration by today.
Yeah. Because with the COVID and all, the embassy wasn't open and all that kind of stuff. True. So that's why it took so long.
Oh, excuse me. But yeah, thank you so much. This is way better.
Yeah, this is so much better. Even though like my answers were probably not the best. I'm sorry for that.
It's okay. It's all about the spontaneity.
Right. I think it's also important to be real, right? And not always show all the good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like my videos also, sometimes I shoot like some odd takes. Then I'll be like, we should put it in.
Yeah,
Like,
behind the scenes, right?
behind
So
the scenes kind of
I
thing.
feel like if you're the more real you are, the more people can relate to you and they'll be more loyal.
Yeah.
Because it's not always all that polished, perfect
Yeah,
side
not
of
the
you.
pretty, handsome,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. Like
Like
just now
life.
just now you said you see my workout and stuff and you're like, wow. And then the truth is like, I'm like, no.
You actually work out, then I'll be like, uh-oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been
So
trying to get back also lah. Force
yeah,
myself.
I know. It's just you just have to do it lah. Even though
Yeah.
you don't like it, but I just keep forcing myself like
Yeah.
this is
Must lah.
this is not for now, it's for the future.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna stop the recording.